Well, we're certainly looking forward to this weekend. We've had a very good week of practice and preparation for TCU, and, very similar to us. They played extremely well in their conference tournament, won that, won their regional last weekend, and so they're playing as well as they've played all year, and we'll certainly have our hands full this weekend, but we're looking forward to, being at home, playing in front of the 12th man, and playing our very best baseball.
Questions?
JB, I know you're pretty excited to be playing TCU again after the loss last year. Something that stuck with you all season long?
I think at times it has. I think more during the week on a Tuesday or Wednesday practice when you're not feeling so great. I think during the weekend in our conference you have to focus on the opponent at hand. I think that you don't really pay attention to what happened last year once you're in the fight, but I think it served as a motivational tool for, like I said, practice days and sometimes during the year when you're not really feeling it.
Brigham, your excitement to take the ball in Game 1 at Olsen.
I'm super excited, just ready to get the team off to a great start and go as long as I can and give them my best shot, and hopefully give them a win.
Rob, at times this year you said we haven't seen our team's best baseball yet. Are you at a point in time where you're seeing the best baseball out of your club?
Well, I think we have at times throughout the course of the year. There was a 6 or 7 game stretch in there from an offensive standpoint. We did some special things in the middle of the year, and certainly on into the conference tournament this past weekend. You're starting to see all 3 phases put together at a very high level, and that's what our hope is for this weekend, that we continue to play the way we have the last few weeks.
JB, I understand that you guys have had a picture of the TCU dog pile after last year.
Mm-hmm.
How anxious are you guys to replace that with a dog pile of your own this year?
I think we're excited to do that. I think more than anything, we're just ready for the first pitch tomorrow night at 8:05 and just kind of get all the noise out of the way and just play good baseball.
Having said that, do you think that almost too much has been made of last year and not enough of this year's?
I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that. I just think that, you can't help but be excited about the matchup with the two teams the way, our heart was broken last year and they're right in Omaha. And, we're just excited and ready to go. We feel like, we deserve the opportunity to play TCU here, and we're just excited to get underway tomorrow night.
Brigham, what have you seen in the development this season of Turner Larkin since he's kind of worked his way into the starting roles as of late?
I think he's done a great job. I think each time he goes out there, he's giving us a little bit more and more. And as a starter role, our goal is just to go as long as we can. And whether it's 4, 5, 6, or the whole game, just going to give it our best shot.
What's the difference between him last year and this year?
Turner,
Mm-hmm.
I think just more mature and more confident.
Does that kind of mirror you as well?
I think all the freshmen from last year going into this year, we're just all more confident, and I think that plays a huge role in the success you have.
Brigham, I know yesterday you didn't have a real great grasp on TCU, or at least didn't get a lot of chance to scout. But what do you really see from their lineup right today going into tomorrow?
I really haven't looked too much into it today either, but just going to go out there and attack. It doesn't matter who's up at the plate. You got to make your best pitches and just stay ahead in the count.
How much confidence, Rob, do you have in Hendricks after just the 1 inning clean that you got to see last week?
Certainly a lot more. I mean, he went out there and, albeit the situation, it wasn't grave as far as the game being in the balance. Just to see him go out there and throw strikes, mid to upper 90s with his breaking ball and to come off the field. Excited, happy that he contributed, would be certainly, look to use him at some point this weekend as well. And, he's been in the fire an awful lot during his career and certainly has overpowering stuff. But to get him out there, for him to be sharp, him to throw strikes with both the fastball and the breaking ball is certainly encouraging for us going into this weekend.
JB, how much do y'all kind of go about the task of enjoying this, of having fun and kind of taking a second to realize the honor of hosting the Super Regional as well?
Yeah, I think, the biggest key, and I think whoever wins this series is just who best manages their emotions. I think, there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of electricity in the air early, and I think just whoever throws the first punch, I'm anxious for that to be over and us just get down to playing baseball and do what we do best. You know, we've been great all season here at home and even on the road. And like I said, I think our guys are just excited to play baseball and to be out there competing with one another.
JB, you talked about that electricity. What have you gotten from people around town, maybe friends that might not be on the team? What kind of feedback are they getting?
Well, I just know that I think the General Admission seats sold out in like 3 minutes or something like that. I think some fans from TCU didn't even get tickets that they were looking for. So, but that's to be expected with the 12th man. We know they're going to be on their feet all night, all 3 games, and we're really excited to be able to play here at home with them supporting us.
Rob, you've been through this rematch before, having to play Rice in 07 and 08. TCU's done it with Texas. Generally speaking, good for college baseball to have rematches in these super regionals, or does this sport need to be taken in a different direction?
Oh, I think it's good for the fans, you know, and obviously the viewers from coast to coast based on the way last year went. But it's 2 different teams, you know, the 2016 team that we have, the 2016 team that TCU has. They're totally different, and it's going to be about playing good baseball this weekend. Softball seeds them 1 through 16, and my hope would be that the ABCA would take a long, hard look at that. I think that's something that, you know, is probably 3 to 5 years out, but I think that's something that's good for our sport as well.
Coach, obviously the best team, the team that's playing the best baseball is the team that's going to advance. And for you guys in the SEC tournament, it seemed like you had to do a lot to come from behind to win. In the regional, you guys seem like you won it wire to wire, so you're playing with a lot of confidence now.
Well, we are. I mean, there's nothing our team hasn't seen. Going through 10 weeks of the SEC has prepared us for, you know, the conference tournament, and the conference tournament certainly prepared us for last weekend. And, you know, last weekend, sometimes it's hard when you got to prepare for 3 teams you don't know anything about, and you've got to come out and watch the early game. This weekend, there's one team to prepare for. That's TCU, and, you know, it's about going out and playing good baseball. Like you said, the best team never wins. It's a team that plays the best and, you know, can grab that momentum and hold on to it as long as they can.
JB, can you talk about that as well? The fact that in the SEC tournament, you guys did a lot of come from behind to win, and in the regional, you seem to be able to just take the lead and go with it.
Yeah, I just think that helps us out in the long run. I think we can win in multiple facets of the game, and I think that we have confidence if we are to get down early. Just trust in our approach offensively, and trust that we put good at-bats together, that we can make a comeback, and that if we are ahead early, that we just continue to keep the pedal to the metal, and no runs or enough runs, and you just stay after it.
Coach, how much confidence does it give you? You guys have only lost 1 series all season long. You know, heading into a final series like this at home, how much confidence does that give you?
Well, an awful lot. We feel like our team's built, you know, for a 3-game series. At least it seems that way this deep into the season. That we've played well in 3-game series. Like you said, we've only lost 1, and, you know, that weekend at Florida, the scores weren't indicative as to how bad they beat us in every facet of the game. And, you know, for us to come back and respond the way we did throughout the finish of the regular season says a lot about the character and leadership of our team. And, you know, we look forward to tomorrow night and getting the weekend started.
Coach, right after that Florida series, you started saying, this won't define us, but then you said, but in some ways I hope it does. At that point, did you feel like that was the turning point?
And that's exactly what I told our team, and I hope it does define us. Hopefully we learn something from this weekend and understand if we're going to go where we expect to go and want to go, you know, we're going to have to play much better baseball against teams of that kind of quality in Florida. And, you know, our guys certainly answered the bell, you know, the rest of the regular season.
Brigham, seeing the offenses y'all did last week, you know, how does that prepare you for, you know, your matchup this week against TCU? Because it seemed like all 3 of those teams were pretty offensive centered.
I think it just shows that, you know, you got to go out there and just play your best baseball, because at, you know, at any given point a team can, you know, be hot. So we just got to go out there and make good pitches and, you know, stay ahead and limit free base runners.
Coach Brigham talked about going deep into the game. How would that change the rest of the weekend if he did, say, throw 8 or 9 innings tomorrow night?
That would be great. We would love that. And
but I mean, as far as like how you might use Vincent and.
Well, we'll worry about that tomorrow night at 11:30 as to how we're going to move forward on the weekend. Right now, our focus is Brigham getting us off to a great start tomorrow and doing whatever we've got to do to win Game 1. And once we're done with Game 1, we'll look as to what we're going to do in Games 2 and 3.
Coach, what does it mean to you to get to host a super regional here? There have been some really good teams that have not had that chance, and to do it in front of the 12th man.
Well, it tells you how good this team is from wire to wire, the leadership of our seniors and our older guys. I mean, Brigham's an older guy too. He's only a sophomore, but he's an older guy. And, you know, how committed they've been to one another and, you know, how they've shown up each and every day on a Tuesday throughout the course of each and every weekend to earn the right to, you know, be a top 8 seed, go play well last weekend and make that matter. Like you said, we've had an awful lot of good teams here the last decade that haven't been good enough to be a top 8 seed, and this team has. And, you know, this weekend it matters that we're playing here at home and we're not on the road. And, you know, they've done that, and they've earned that over the course of the year.
Coach, can you speak to your relationship with Coach Schlossnagle and Bill's paths across?
Yeah, an awful long time. I've known him, you know, since probably 2000, 2001. We played against each other in 01 World Series. He was an assistant at Tulane. I was at Nebraska. He had a bullpen bag that had a left-handed catcher's mitt in it, so did we, and somehow they got switched. And they had a contract with, I think, Louisville Slugger at the time. We had a contract with Easton, so I had a Louisville Slugger left-handed catcher's mitt. That's what I ended up with, and he ended up with an Easton one. So, you know, he's always done a good job. You know, great recruiter, great motivator. His times at, you know, obviously at Tulane and then on to UNLV and to TCU. He's been a winner everywhere he's gone, and his teams are always well prepared and play really hard. And, you know, I would expect nothing different this weekend.
He told us his first call was to you in 2013. It didn't work out on the family front and schedule front, but how neat was that he called you first to be a part of that team, the USA team?
Well, it meant an awful lot that he had enough respect of me to be a part of, you know, the most fun you could be a part of with USA Baseball. It just didn't work out for our family at the time, and you know, I got a chance to do it a couple of summers later, but you know, he's a good friend and got the utmost respect for him and his program.
Greg, JB, can you talk about your group? I mean, y'all in the Houston Regional got to a championship game last year. You forced a championship game in regional in advance, and then fall in Super Regional. It seems like your class has taken the little steps to go one step farther each year, and what's it been about the senior class to be able to do that?
Well, first of all, I think it speaks volumes for the leadership that was before us. Blake Alamon, Logan Otterbrook, Mitchell Now, G.R. Hinesley really kind of showed us the way last year, us being a junior class, and we've honestly just tried to ride their coattails in the senior year and do what they've taught us to do. But the senior class has been beat up. My first year, I think we finished 9th in conference, first year in the SEC, and I think we finished 10th my sophomore year. So it took a while for us, and we got beat up, and you know, we've learned a lot. We've grown a lot. I think there was 17 of us that came in my freshman year, and there may be 4 or 5 of us now. And you know, I can't tell you how much those 4 or 5 guys mean to me. And you know, Coach Childress has kind of just molded us and prepared us for these type of moments, and it just feels like this weekend's meant to be.
Time for about 1 or 2 more.
Coach, I know a lot's been made about Boomer and Walker playing their former team, but I know that Rex Hill is also on TCU, and he didn't really get to play for you his 1 year here, but can you just talk to him, and what it'll be like seeing him in the other dugout?
Yeah, he's a great kid, an incredible competitor. He ended up having Tommy John the summer before he showed up here, and it took him longer than it takes most to bounce back. And, you know, I've always wanted success for him, and, you know, he's wanted that, and that's why he made the decision to go to the junior college. And, you know, he needed to go pitch at San Jack, and, you know, got the opportunity to go to TCU, was in their rotation early in the year. But he's a wonderful kid. He's a great teammate. He's a great competitor. And, you know, I want to see him have a great career and be successful, all except for maybe one weekend.